Brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to ELS Uncut.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to ELS Uncut. This is the first episode of ELS Uncut. I want to thank everyone for downloading and listening to this podcast. ELS Uncut, I'm going to explain what this podcast is. It's not like the Everett Show podcast. ELS Uncut is raw, uncut, anything goes. We hit record on the record button and we just let it fly. And for that right there, you get ELS Uncut. More F-bombs dropped than a atomic bomb going off, as McShaft would say. On these podcasts, you can hear my daughter in the background. I got her going, watching some TV, but that's the noise, if you're wondering what that is right there. Well, I'm dropping down this audio and this intro for this episode of ELS Uncut. We're going to take a look at a podcast that was recorded back of May of last year, right around Memorial Day, or just shortly before or after. I can't remember, but it has to do with the Super Radio Brothers appearing. Mark and Rich stopped by City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida for what was supposed to go as a smooth recording of Draft Tuesday. I met the Super Radio Brothers at the Daytona Beach Comic Convention. We struck up some conversation. They invited me on their podcast, and I sat down in the hot seat, answered some questions, told them I'd do a podcast myself, gave them a card. We kept a contact, message back and forth. And I talked to Chris at the time, Chris Carnage, and I said, you know what, man? Let's get the Super Radio Brothers on, man. He was like, all right, let's do it. So we invited him for the Draft Tuesday. It's DeLand City Limits Tap Room. And that went really well, as we planned, as we thought. What exactly happened was we had everything set up, but we decided to shoot out back. City Limits Tap Room has a nice out back area, so they have a pavilion. We decided, you know what, we're going to set up a pavilion there. We're going to have people gather around. They watch live podcast of us talking about different things. So we set everything up. I had McShaft on the computer, and I said, hit record, buddy. So he hit record. Come to find out later, what happened was that with it being recorded, the podcast, the video part did not come out. The audio version did. The audio part came out smooth. But when I was trying to run the video program, it crashed. And I didn't know that. Usually when I'm trying to start up my video program, it crashes and you have to hit the notification thing a couple times until it catches and records. So the video part was destroyed. The audio part, we got that. And through all this, on this podcast that you're about to hear, the uncut version, I decided I've recorded just one. This is one cut right here. The one I released that you did hear was the cut version. I cut out all the nonsense and everything that happened. This one here is the uncut version. It's never been released to the public until now. For the first time, you're about to hear it. I had this as a Patreon exclusive only, but no one bothered to jump on there and donate to ELS Draft Tuesday, so I said hell with it. So I took it down. I've had it sitting here on my computer for a long time, and the public needs to hear this. This is what happens when you try to plan things to go smooth, which they kind of do, but they don't. And you get to hear an extended version of this podcast here. And this is an exclusive right here for everybody. Brought to you by the Podcast City Network. So be sure to head over to podcastcity.net and check out the other shows on the website. There's a lot of variety on there. But this is the first episode of this right here. The podcast, again, was awesome. Talking with Mark and Rich. They came out. Ben wasn't able to come out. And therefore, this is the uncut version you're about to hear right here, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of uncut, yep, this is uncut, all right. Hear my daughter in the background again. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into this podcast episode of ELS Uncut. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everett Lee Show podcast for Draft Tuesday. Yeah. Give it up, everyone.
Draft.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. I'm thirsty.
We're back here again once a month for Draft Tuesday here at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. And none other than joining me is my fantastic co-host.
I'm fantastic.
Yes, glorious. Should I say glorious?
Oh, glorious is even better.
Hell yeah.
Don't stroke my ego too much.
Chris Carnage.
Hey, fans, what's going on? We're here for another Draft Tuesday at City Limits Tap Room. It's going to be an amazing time. Got a lot of stuff lined up. Stay tuned.
That's right. And we're not alone. See the two guys standing right next to me?
Just next to us.
Please welcome Rich and Mark from the Super Radio Brothers podcast.
Oh, man.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Rich and Mark.
They're totally here.
Yeah, we
It's
made it.
me.
In the person.
Yes.
Thanks to Rich's driving skills, we barely made it.
Yeah, you almost died a couple of times. Trucks on the freeway and animals and a lot of dead things on the road that were already killed. I was trying to kill them again. It was fun.
Double tap, gotta get it in.
Yeah, you get extra points for that. You guys are video game guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're about on the Super Radio Brothers. Video games, movies, comic books, and beer.
Yes.
Not as much beer, but privately beer.
You cannot go wrong with beer.
Not privately, but on the down low, but not so much on the down low, but kind of out there, but it's there. But yeah, we're drinking.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
My mama's on Facebook now, so I gotta be careful. It's just like,
Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful.
Driving when you drink, it's a whole problem. And then it's 20 minutes. You shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's my mama. I'm sorry.
Rich and
Gotta
Mark
get a shout out.
has graced us with our presence tonight for this Draft Tuesday. We're going to get into talking about who and what makes up the Super Radio Brothers. So every story has a good origin.
Like a superhero.
Yes, like a superhero.
It's all about origins with superheroes.
That's right.
How did the Super Radio Brothers start?
Well, it started on a burning bush, and Mark just appeared out of nowhere. And me, I was in the fires of Mount Doom trying to get rid of a ring. And my evil little friend Anthony, he was like, "Nah, dude, what are you doing? That ring is awesome." I still have it. No, that's not really how we got started.
Yeah, mine was more like Terminator. Like I woke up naked in the middle of the parking lot.
Yeah.
and
everybody was
stole
like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
here, take the clothes."
It was not good for
and
anybody.
Terminator, he was like, "Nah, dude, let's go." And he had to beat him up. But
Yeah.
Mark, everybody was like, "Please take the clothes, man."
Yeah,
Take
I
the
tried to
clothes,
steal a
bro.
motorcycle, didn't realize I didn't know how to ride one.
It was a mess. It was a mess. But he's from the future. They have like those motorcycles that levitate or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no gravity in the future. The moon is destroyed, and
Everything's screwed up.
Everything's messed up in the future. Yes. It's like I don't know if you ever saw Mad Max.
The future.
It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
Although we were shooting spray paint into our mouths.
Oh, it was delicious.
Yes,
Especially bright colors.
But the Super Radio Brothers has been around for 2 years. Next month will be 2 years.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
Congrats.
I know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
not-
well, some of it was.
We've done 92 episodes.
Ah, nice.
Congratulations. Any plans for the 100th?
A couple weeks ago, we joked about this. We were thinking about doing a rap battle.
Yeah, that's right. That would be a great idea. Yeah,
would be
Except
awesome.
Mark wanted to delay it by a year. He said, "I need time to get my rhymes in order." Maybe, you know. So, but yeah, no, the Super. This is something that's been going
So
on.
yeah, like, once we hit 99, then we're gonna go on hiatus
Yeah.
for a little while and
It's
then come back.
accomplished, man.
Yeah.
That's it. We did
You
it.
made it.
We did it. You know? We're waiting for like a trophy, or there should be some kind of Guinness Book of World Records, or you know what?
Or at least a Jay-Z spinoff, 99 episodes and forgot that last one.
Exactly.
It
Perfect.
could be like Mayweather. Everybody says he should get that 50th victory, go 50-0, but he's sticking around that 49-0. They're talking about Colin McGregor being the next
Oh,
one,
yeah.
possibly. But he's at 49-0. Why can't we be 99-0?
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, what would the O be? Are there losses on our record?
We've had some bad episodes.
Oh yeah, we've had some awful episodes. You know, that would make up about 70% of them. You know, so that when we have a good episode, it's like, oh my God, we'll take the next month off, and you know, by now we'd have at least 150 episodes. But you know, you have to take some time off after you do it right.
Yeah.
You do
They
it
can't
right.
all be perfect.
Gotta bait 'em in.
To that one we did 2 months ago, that was good.
Yeah. Gotta ride that wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely do have to ride that wave in the world of podcast. I mean, there's so many good podcasts out there, and
Not
some.
really.
I mean, there's some.
Majority are awful.
There's some interesting,
They're
questionable
awful. They're
ones.
awful. It's like sometimes when I listen to an awful podcast, it's like I feel like I'm listening to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, with Ben Stein,
Yeah.
So today we're going to cover Star Trek. Yay!
Oh,
it's
Star Trek's
something like that.
awesome.
I know.
You had me. I was like, oh.
See, I was about to get interested too. That sounded interesting.
I like that. So they have their audience, I guess.
Yeah, they do. And that's cool, man.
Yeah.
It
No, I
is.
hear you, bro. I hear you.
It is.
No,
It is.
we love everybody. Everybody gets out there, they get it done, and you do with what you can. We love the Everett Lee show.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
We got to meet you first at the Daytona Comic Con a month ago or so,
Yes.
and it's awesome that you invited us on here.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you guys. I was walking around there with my tall friend Frankenstein. I was walking around with
Frankenstein.
That's one way to put it.
Frankenstein's monster, and we were walking around there, and I seen a couple podcasts out there. I seen another podcast, and then I saw you guys. So I approached the other podcast. I kind of got the cold shoulder a little bit, like it's like, oh, you have a podcast, that's great. you know?
AKA the Dills.
Yes.
Now we know, yeah, because this was our fourth, I think, Comic Con in Daytona, and they've also been there each time.
Yeah.
We don't have to say their names, but
We tried to warm up to them a couple of times, and it was like, you know what? Screw you, buddy. You know?
Yeah,
Mm.
that
That's
rubbed
sad.
me the wrong way. So I walked by and I was telling you about it. I seen three guys sitting over there on the table just talking. I was like, dude, you're recording a podcast. And I was told my tall friend, I'm like, I'm gonna go over and say, hey, what's up? Next thing I know, they welcomed me with open arms, talked to me, sat me down in a hot seat. I'll never forget that. I went back and listened to that
Super Radio
episode.
Hot Seat.
Yes.
By the way, that episode is available. SuperRadioBrothers.com. Do you remember what episode number that is?
I do not. But it wasn't that long ago, so maybe we're like 80 something.
We
So
do math, which,
Somewhere around there.
but you can hear Everett Lee on the Super Radio Brothers.
It was awesome time. Had a good time with you sitting there at the Daytona Beach Comic Convention.
Well, like you say, you approach the other podcast, they give you
Right.
a cold shoulder.
Yeah.
The Super Radio Brothers, we're about you, we're about the audience, we're about everybody. It's about a conversation between the people. That's why we invite people to listen to us live every Thursday at 7 o'clock. You get access to the show on SuperRadioBrothers.com. Be a part of the message board room. Be a part of the conversation. We want to hear, I want to hear your argument so I can destroy it. That's the point. I want the more people I can have, combative
once he goes on a
conversation.
rant, it's really hard to get him to shut up. It's insanely difficult.
So I get angry sometimes.
Yes.
It's part of the. It's part. It's part.
Oh,
of the fun.
I get angry. You can ask Chris, man. I go on a rant like.
Oh yeah, you'll lose it.
I will lose it. I will lose it. McShaft,
I'll say this is just mildly contained.
Yes.
So how did you guys get started?
Well, how we got started was I've been podcasting 3 years. Everett Lee, podcasting 3 years. Went through some transformations. We started out with Everett's Hangout, then the short-lived Off the Corner, and then I changed it and I developed what you see, Everett Lee.
You look good, man.
Thank you.
Look at this guy.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Bet there's abs under there.
About to break out Shawn Michaels.
Well, let's not get carried away.
But there for a while, I saw Chris Carnage. McShaft
Not easy to miss.
that you should have Chris Carnage come on your show. And I was like, who's Chris Carnage? He's the voice of the DeLand Rock Metal Festival, and he is the spokesperson for CCE Presents.
There we go.
That's
So
right.
I checked out Chris. I said, you know what? I want that energy. So I called him up. I contacted him, and I was like, why don't you come on the show? Drink some beers with me, kick back, we'll talk about anything.
So beers is what got me at first.
Yes.
Beer. All right, out there.
Wait a second. This show's going to be at a bar. Mark, we're going. Let's do it.
So with that said, he came over and we talked about wrestling. We played some WWE at the time, WWE 2K16.
Yeah.
We had.
I somehow got beat.
Well, look who you.
The energy did not help me.
You should have picked Brock Lesnar.
Maybe if they just let me cut a promo in the game, I would have won. I don't know.
So one.
Hey now.
Jinder Mahal.
Pump them brakes.
So one thing led to another, and it just the friendship developed. He kept coming back. I kept asking him to come back, and he started coming on once a month.
Still the beer.
And it's just all I had to say is, "Got a 6-pack, man. You gonna come by?" And it just brought the friendship.
Let me tell you, I can tell, the friendship. There's chemistry there. It sounds really good. Me and Mark, we've been through 92 episodes. No chemistry at all.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
We each have our own dressing rooms. We don't see each other until maybe like a minute before.
There's all just like forced meetings and
Yeah, there's contracts and all
Their
that.
eyes are rolling, they're kind of a lot of that, so
He's the biggest diva I've ever met in my life.
I want a Snickers all the time.
Now I noticed on the Super Radio Brothers podcast, you do talk a lot about video games.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you looking forward coming out this year? The video game releases.
Let's see. Well, we just Injustice just came out. We've been playing that. What else? Destiny, of course, coming
Destiny
out
2.
in September.
Big Destiny fan here.
The guy who's the big video game guy on the show, we have a couple people who jump in, but we have Louie, who broadcasts from strategic locations all across the empire.
New Jersey.
Hoboken, New Jersey. But no, we never know where he's going to be. Wink, wink. But Louis calls it. He's really the video game expert on the show. Ben, who's the owner of Nerds Comics on Flagler Beach, he's on the podcast. He also is very well versed in the world of video games. But yeah, right now I'm rocking out Injustice. I'm a big fighting game guy. Got the fight stick at home. Dig it. I'm loving Injustice right now. I just finished the storyline, which I wasn't super in love with, but it was pretty cool. And also a big Destiny guy. Destiny is the last game that I could just spend hours on. I could just disappear. And Destiny 2 is coming out in September, so that's obviously the game. Also, a lot of talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, which now has been pushed back.
I know,
spring.
man.
Oh yes, 2018.
So that's extremely disappointing. And of course, you got Call of Duty going back to World War II.
Yes.
Later on in November, that's something else we're looking forward to.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars
Yeah,
Battlefront.
Battlefront
Eventually
2.
they get that done right.
Yeah,
Yeah, with an actual campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we're looking forward to and we're talking about. And I really wish that I had the. I'm a big Zelda guy and I haven't ponied money for a what is it? A Nintendo? What is it called? Switch. I can't remember that. It's the worst name for a console of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm switching consoles. Right? This thing sucks so bad, but no, it looks pretty cool so far. Nothing but good reviews from people who have bought it. So that's a good sign, and everybody's loving the Zelda game. So I wish I was playing that, but I'm not.
And you got the VR, right?
And I do have the VR for.
How do you like that?
PS4. I love it, man. It's incredible. Resident Evil on the.
How's that?
I can just imagine.
Intense, man. And I played it both, in the 2D and obviously the 3D, the virtual reality.
Right.
It's just not even close as far as what the experience is. When you have early in the game, are you guys Evil Dead fans? Do you dig like Evil Dead 2?
Yes.
Evil Dead 1. Some of my favorite movies, Bruce Campbell, directed by Sam Raimi, just great movies. And the beginning, have you played Resident Evil, the new one?
No, I haven't.
The beginning is a lot like Evil Dead. So you got some crazy witch lady trying to stab you and kill you. Now imagine that in VR. You're trying to battle her and she's in your face stabbing you and grabbing you and throwing you. It's just in VR, it's a completely different experience. And I wasn't a believer on the show initially in the VR experience.
It's funny, like, for the months leading up to the VR coming out, he was just like, oh, that is so ridiculous. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then, like, the VR comes out, and I could just see his face when he walks in, and he's just like, I bought the VR. I broke down.
It's a different kind of experience. Now, you got to see more games come out to support the platform and make it worth. I can understand not wanting to buy it right now because there's not a lot out there necessarily to enjoy. You got the Star Trek game coming out.
Came out today.
Oh, yeah.
Came out today.
Today.
Yes.
So, you know, there are things there, but...
Like, why are we here?
wait a second.
Let's say I've been living on Star Trek Online for so long. I need something new.
But in straight up seriousness, you know, I wasn't before, but I am a believer in the VR technology. I've been saying for years the future of entertainment is interactive entertainment.
Absolutely.
Feeling like you're in it. And that's what VR is, and I can only see it getting better from here. So I'm looking forward to what they have next with the PS4 VR and all VR, I guess, all the platforms, Oculus Rift and everything else.
Oh yeah, I was browsing through the PlayStation Store the other night and just looking at some of the VR stuff they have, like the free stuff, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, damn man, I wish I had a VR because I could try this out because a lot of the free stuff, like the apps and stuff
There's
they
some
have.
good stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I played one. Well, you don't play it. It's more. There's a lot of video stuff. You know, not necessarily game stuff. Even the game, the system, the VR platform comes with just demos where there's one where you're in a shark cage. You know, and there's sharks going around the cage, and they break through, and they go.
Oh man!
And it's super cool to check out the Batman game, even though it was maybe 2 hours long, which was ridiculous for the $40 or $30 price tag that it was.
Yeah.
You know, but the experience itself, I remember, you know, you're going down, you're in Wayne Manor. That was my first experience. It looked incredible. Then you're shooting down into the Batcave, and you're looking around, and you're in the Batcave. And then you start to put on the Batman suit. You know, you see it there, so you're grabbing the pieces and you're putting them on your body. You see the utility belt, and you see a mirror. I look at myself. I'm freaking Batman. So I started dancing around, moving, and it's doing my movements, and it's just I'm laughing out loud. It was an incredible experience. So I'm a big believer in what they're doing. I think it's the future.
Absolutely.
It is the future. Video game technology has come a long way and stuff from like playing like the old 8-bit Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Let's take it back. How about DOS?
DOS.
Yeah. Well, are you guys Star Trek guys?
Oh, you know it.
Yes.
So, you know, when you talk about the holodeck, right? That's, to me, that's the future of entertainment. You know?
Absolutely.
It's some form of that, and the beginning stages of that is the VR.
Yeah,
it's
is.
pretty incredible.
Just give it time. You know, 20, 30 years, might have it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen videos where for training missions for military, they actually have a special kind of treadmill that moves in all different directions. So it makes you feel like in the VR you're moving in different directions. That's another thing. These are different ways that the technology can evolve and basically be what entertainment is, you know, in the future.
It is. It's everything is starting to become that.
Because everybody wants to interact with their entertainment. You look at reality television. What do they do as far as these Dancing with the Stars or the Voice? Or there are always these polls. Well, text in right now and vote for your favorite contestant. It's all interactive.
Yes.
The future of entertainment. People want to feel like they're a part of what they're experiencing.
right. Absolutely.
And that's the future of everything. It's interactive entertainment.
It is.
Absolutely. WWE even experimented with that with Cyber Tuesday and whatnot.
Yes.
You know, letting fans vote in for all the stipulations of matches,
Although
stuff
how
like
much
that.
of that was actually like...
Well, you know, that was probably absolutely controlled by Vince being like, ha, we're going to give you this instead.
Yeah, Vince.
But still, having that, at least that idea of that interactive, you know, everything's about fan interaction these days.
It is. A lot of fan interaction and stuff, and it goes back to me being after the Daytona Beach Comic Convention, and you guys let me interact with you in the hot
That's
seat,
what
and
we're
I
about,
loved
man.
it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's what it's all about.
It is. We do a lot of fan interaction, especially here on Draft Tuesday.
Oh,
for
yeah.
fans. And
Lots of call-ins, lots of contests,
yes,
all kinds of stuff.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
yes, a lot of fun stuff.
We try not to make people sad.
No,
I'm sorry if we have.
we try not to. We try not to.
Well, this is the time you want to get away. You want to experience that
Yes.
little bit of escape. You know, you want to talk about the things that you escape to and you enjoy and you have fun with. Beer, video games, entertainment. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's why
definitely.
we're here.
But let's switch gears though. We mentioned Star Trek. I want to know about your thoughts about this new Star Wars movie that's going to be coming out.
Yes, The Last
You don't
Jedi.
want to know my thoughts on the new Star Wars. First of all, there was a lot of controversy on the Super Radio Brothers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I'll let you know here at the Everett Lee Show, we respect and envy people's opinions and stuff.
Oh.
What your opinion is, we're not going to bash you for your opinion because it's your
Well,
opinion. And your
maybe. We'll see how many drinks in we are.
There are some people you should not give the soapbox to.
Yes.
Probably
Yes.
me. But yeah, I agree with you
Yes.
guys. I value and respect my opinion as well. It's other people's opinions that I have a problem with.
This is why I like Rich.
I love this.
I love this, man.
No,
I
but,
do.
the Force Awakens, and I'm not the first person to say that. But, I believe that it was a carbon copy of
A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I think it was a shameful example of filmmaking. You know, I was all for a new Star Wars. I wanted to see them expand on the story.
Right.
You know, and to me it just went backwards and rehashed a lot of old stuff. You know, and at the same, I will say that it was a well put together movie. I think it was better than his second Star Trek movie, which I thought was pretty bad, or even the third one, which was
Third one was horrific.
Just
Yeah,
awful.
I heard about that.
Horrific.
I didn't see it.
it's not even
Just you're okay then. Just be glad you haven't
I'm
been
good.
subjected to it.
pretty awful film. So I think it was better than those movies. But at the same time, the reason I liked it was because it was the movie I fell in love with when I was 8. You know, when I
Yes.
fell in love
Right.
with A New Hope, and I realized, well, I dig it because it's the same movie I love. And to me, that's shameful filmmaking. If you really wanted to take a chance and create art, you would have expanded on the storyline and created something new. So I think you want to talk about A New Hope. I think there is a new hope here as far as The Last Jedi being the new hope. Maybe this is where they can create some new content for the franchise and take it into the future with something meaningful. And I think Rogue One did that a little bit, even though it went into the past with it, but at the same time, it was a Star Wars story that we haven't experienced, we haven't seen yet.
It's fully like an
Yes.
original that somehow they were able to like fill gaps and holes that we didn't even know needed to be filled.
That's right. It made you just start getting all the wheels spinning, really thinking about the story. And what was great too is that, like you said, it's a Star Wars story. So they didn't present it in the episodic type of manner with, the opening role and everything like that. They just go right into
No
the movie.
Skywalkers.
No Skywalkers. No frill.
And I think part of the reason I was upset too, and rightfully so, the prequels are slaughtered. They're killed. The public opinion is completely against them, and they are pretty bad movies. But at least, in my opinion, at least George Lucas tried to create something new with those movies.
Absolutely.
Let's face it. There was a lot of pressure on J.J. Abrams with Disney and all the money backed up by, and they went the safest possible route. They said, "Hey, A New Hope was successful. This is what created the franchise. We're just going to recreate it," and that was the safest way to go. There was no gamble there. There was this is going to be good, and obviously there were a ton of new Star Wars fans out there that never really experienced A New Hope on the level spiritually, dare I say, that we did when we were kids.
Absolutely.
So in a way, this is their new hope, and I acknowledge that. But as someone who experienced that in the first place, it drives me. It's a horrible example of what filmmaking has become in the franchise world of filmmaking, where it doesn't matter about the content or creating something new. It just matters about making money. But they were successful to me.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you looked at like Rogue One. A lot of people looked at that. If you look into a lot of the setup of that movie when they went into post editing and everything, Disney legit looked at that movie and said that movie is too dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to lighten it up. But the thing is all about the Bothans and them getting the Death Star plans. So it was a dark story to begin with.
Yeah.
So, that just shows how a corporate hand will go in and try and morph these into something a little happier, a little bit more feel good, or whatever end that they're trying to get to.
I agree.
Yes.
And like,
I'm so upset.
but it's. I mean, I love that it still had the lightness of it. Was it Donnie Yen's character?
Donnie Yen.
I thought he killed
Donnie
it. Yeah,
Yen, loved him. Yep. It was sad to see him go. It was sad to see Donnie Yen
pretty
go out like that.
And it's weird. Like you watching this movie, you know ahead of time pretty much everyone here is just gonna die.
And all my martial arts people out there, the blind characters are always the coolest. Whether it's Zatu Ichi, or the blind guy in Return of the Five Deadly Venoms. Those guys are always the coolest in the kung fu flicks, and they kind of brought that kind of aspect of martial arts into Rogue One. And let's face it, Star Wars has always been about martial arts. The first A New Hope is a straight up kung fu flick about training and learning the art and getting revenge. That is the formula of the Shaw brothers who basically created the great kung fu flicks of the 70s. That's what kind of Star Wars and they had a little fantasy and that type of story into it as well. But let's face it, Star Wars is a kung fu flick, the first one anyway.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. From the trailer, what we've been shown and what we've seen in the trailer, we see Rey on that island where we saw at the end of Force Awakens with Skywalker.
Supposedly busting ass.
Busting ass training.
Awkward scene.
It really was, because you don't know what's happening.
Like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Which is that weird music.
Rey's training, I guess, with Luke. And then I guess the evil that we saw in The Force Awakens is basically still trying to take over the galaxy. And a lot of rumor and speculation, especially with Lego. I mentioned this to you before we started, that Lego released a set that revealed the villain of The Last Jedi.
Whoops.
Toys.
It is.
Always the toys.
Yeah. It's always the toys. And a lot of speculation on that. I guess a lot of people got upset about that, especially I guess it was Disney.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people got upset because it was
Disney will sue you like that.
Yes.
It's
like
Lego
no
went
tomorrow.
ahead and put it out there. And then there was other speculation that there's rumor is that we will see a Skywalker reunion with Luke and Leia.
Well,
There was an article I saw earlier today. I didn't read it, but I read the headlines, which means it could be BS. I don't know if you guys saw this.
could be fake news.
Fake news.
Exactly, fake news. What's
You heard it here first.
But that Mark Hamill, of course, Luke Skywalker, disagrees with every direction that they took the Luke Skywalker character in The Last Jedi.
Actually, that is true because he made a lot of comments at the Star Wars Celebration recently, and they had a Disney exec also on the stage who had to jump right in there in damage control mode, trying to retract some of the statements, shape them a certain way. So, it's very evident with Mark Hamill's feelings about the character and where it's going. It's been more than public and evident.
Yeah, that's a part of that's Mark Hamill's character. He
Don't mess with Mark Hamill.
He's Luke Skywalker.
He's the Joker too. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Joker.
He'll take you out.
And he was Cockknocker in Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back.
There was
of
a
course.
great, I don't know if you guys saw it, there's a great video out there where Mark Hamill is at a convention and they ask him to do the Why So Serious in his Joker's voice. And it was
Oh,
so good to
yes.
check out.
Oh, yes. I saw that. That was actually really, really
That's a
good.
bad sign, man, that Mark Hamill is not liking what he was involved in.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's always a bad sign in my opinion.
It is.
Oh, yeah. That, and it could also end up damaging him possibly coming back for the next movie.
And let's face it, Force Awakens sucked. It was awful. so you just gotta hope that we can move on and it could be better this time.
Well, maybe like Carnage suggested, maybe Skywalker maybe head into the dark side in this one. I mean, if you look at the poster,
I feel like that's the elephant in the room that, he could be
the
or
elephant
be
in the room
involved with someone who
needs
is.
to be
Maybe he's Detective Smork, right? That's the bad guy. Detective
smoke,
Smork.
smoke,
Snark.
snark.
It's like he used to be a detective, and things went wrong. He lost his wife, and he started drinking, and now he's the Sith Lord.
I mean, natural progression, right?
Working on this writing,
Well, maybe this guy, like what me and McShaft talked about on the way over here, was that maybe this guy was pulling the strings with Darth Sidious.
possible.
That's a possibility right there too. This is Darth Sidious's master, because every apprentice has a master.
Well, do you think Luke Skywalker is going to be evil now? Maybe he's upset that he's evil.
Well,
Possibility.
the tagline.
I think that would be awesome.
It would be, because you'd see
Evil
different
Luke.
sides. Yeah, evil Luke. He basically turned it into waters that he did not want to go. Because if you go back and look at the Star Wars, they thought Anakin was the balance of the Force, good and evil. It was actually Luke, because in Return of the Jedi, you had the Force was balanced. You had Vader, dark side, and you had Luke, light. So there was a balance there, and basically the majority rules.
Or maybe-
good defeat.
And I'll tell you what, the worst part about Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens was when he took the mask off, right?
Everyone says that.
yeah,
Everyone
it's
says
like,
that.
oh, you sound like a big old
Agree with
tough
that,
guy.
man. It's like
Hair.
Kylo Ren.
His
Yeah,
hair
I
was
was like,
amazing.
I laughed.
It
hair
was
was
nice,
amazing.
pampered, feathered.
It takes at least the Force to get that hair to look that good.
Yeah.
Or per plus.
I was about to say per plus, some nice good head and shoulders.
But
Yeah.
Maybe herbal essences.
Cool dude, he takes off the helmet and that hair is just flowing, looking magnificent. How does he have time to be so
And then he
evil,
speaks.
Yet keep
Yes.
his hair so nice?
Well, evil always looks good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gotta
you know?
look good, I
You know,
guess.
when you're monologuing, you gotta look good.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does.
So that was that you know, I was like, it was down here, but when I saw that beautiful hair, the movie was awful. Beautiful hair and evil.
The hair ruined
You
it.
ever been jealous of a movie like this guy?
Mark loved it. Mark is a big fan. He sits at home and he watches it with his little BB-8.
Oh yeah. I have the Sphero BB-8.
Yes.
toy. Yeah, I got one of those, and it has the feature you can watch the movie with it, and it'll interact with the movie. Like certain scenes, like the beginning where like Kylo Ren comes out and he like kills the old guy. He like BB-8 will like turn his head and scream.
And he was really upset. At one point, BB-8 turned him and was like, "This movie sucks, dude. Why are you watching it?"
Yeah.
Should have listened to the droid.
Yes.
There's an
That's
add-on.
not the
It
droid
shoots-
you're looking for, man.
It shoots the disc out of the system. And
Well,
put on Empire
It
instead.
didn't work out. And BB-8, there's nowhere to put the ring, you know, it's an engagement, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
well, this is what you can expect from the Super Raider Brothers.
Of course, every week.
All the time.
When and where can people hear and watch or
Find.
get in contact?
Not too
with-
much
find-
information.
find out.
Every Thursday night at 7:00, twitch.tv/Super Radio Brothers. You can watch us live. Listen to us. It's a live streaming video, but you don't actually see us. You can listen to us.
Imagine me while you're listening.
And then the next, or you
Take
can
us
listen,
mental snaps.
or you can listen to the podcast on iTunes or on Stitcher, SoundCloud, SuperRadioBrothers.com.
Super Google Playhouse, fun stuff.
Google Play, we're on. Yep. And you can follow us on Twitter, at SRB Podcast, Facebook.
Serba.
You can, if you really like us, you can. We have a Patreon too. You can help us out
Awesome.
too.
Yeah.
Very
Tell
nice.
us about the Patreon.
We got a couple people supporting us on Patreon. Just search
yeah.
for Super Radio Brothers. If
It's
you
not that I say we want money. That's messed up. You know, sometimes Mark needs
Right.
a haircut. You know, seriously.
sometimes.
No. It's about trying.
Gotta keep it
trying to
fresh.
advertise, get the advertisements out there. You know,
Yep.
build the show. Build.
I mean, you do a show. You know, this isn't free. This is
Right.
it's not.
That stuff costs money.
It does. It does. It does. It's like we have a Patreon page too, for fans to support us.
Yep.
Patreon.com/ELS on lower score DT.
Yep.
I mean,
and it's cool. You know, and
You,
you can.
got one too?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, oh, man.
Everybody thinking they started it.
I'm sitting
I
on all
was
this.
thinking the same, dude. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
on,
man, I was
man.
like, dude, they got a Patreon too. I thought we were the only ones, man.
I know. I thought we were cornering the market over here.
Only came in
Only
town.
ones. I'm doing my Charlton Heston now. No.
See, that's what happens. You know that mild containment is gone.
Damn you! I am looking forward to that
Stinking
one.
hands off me, or what does he say? Pause.
Yeah, get your damn dirty paws off of you, damn dirty ape. Since we were talking about Star Wars, we're going to throw out a little fan participation.
Oh,
That's right. Fan participation contest.
We got a contest here, viewers.
Please don't make me know this one.
somebody
I'm going to make you know this one.
you gotta know this one because it's
Because if you don't, then you don't win.
We
Just,
have,
you know.
and you're going to love this. You're going to love this.
Who? What? I don't
We have
know.
some
People are saying to say
prizes.
things.
oh
We have some prizes to give away for our trivia question since we're talking about Star Wars.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Everyone here, Star Wars fan? We got Star Wars fans.
That's right.
May the Schwartz be with you.
All right. What we have here, if you can answer this question and get it right, you get to win. Show up to the camera there, Chris.
Get a nice little WWE vinyl figure and signed Draft Tuesday poster.
Oh,
Your
wow.
listeners actually get stuff.
They actually get stuff.
Yes.
Look, we actually have it.
Yes. Yes. We have a Draft Tuesday poster with Chris Carnage and Everett Lee.
It
And
might have devalued it, though. I'm just going to let you know.
so the question is this. You're going to love this. You're going to love this.
So excited.
All right. You're all familiar with Star Wars.
Hopefully.
What was the original title for Episode 6?
Because it was not Return of the Jedi.
No.
Oh, I know this one.
Fuzzy bunny rabbit bear creature.
Yeah.
Part 6.
Jim Henson's Star Wars.
Well, I'll give you a little hint.
The
Think
Muppets
of the
minus
title of Episode 3.
Blank Stairs.
Blank Stairs, come on.
Somebody Google it already. Damn it.
I know, this is the internet.
Somebody's got a phone.
Smartphones, the Jedi Returns. I don't know.
You're getting close.
Revenge of the Teddy Bears.
Come on, guys. Pull out your smartphones.
Somebody. First one when it wins.
Come on. Come on.
We don't qualify, right?
Oh.
No.
Well, you would have won it right off bat.
Yeah,
Snakes on a plane.
that's right.
Samuel and Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know Mark knows
Well,
what I'm talking about.
but while people are searching, though, another interesting theory I heard is that Snoke could actually be Mace Windu.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, where they think that, you never saw him actually die. He fell and fell and fell.
Samuel Jackson was in Star Wars. I forgot all
That's
about
right, yes. He played probably the only token Jedi there was in there.
Purple lightsaber.
With the only purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
Snakes on a Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
That's the only MF they would allow.
We're going to look back to the crowd, see if anybody found out yet.
Come on, guys.
That was
Come on.
missing. There should have
The
been a
ri-
scene where Mace Windu, that's his name. He's got a flyer, gets shot. They're trying to destroy the Death Star. He's falling to his death, and he's like, "Motherfucker!"
Yes.
Absolutely, this would have fit perfectly. No reason they could have
that
been
would
in
have
there.
made the movie.
Instead of have him say that line from Snakes on the Plane, he's in the fighter jet, and he's sitting there, and he's like, "What we got here? We got some motherfucking Sith on my ass."
And a bunch of kids can't watch it now, and Disney's pissed.
Yes.
Damn it, Disney.
Mickey Mouse
I'm a
does.
Jedi.
Well, yeah, that is the title, but what was the original title?
Oh yeah. it was.
Revenge of the Jedi.
There it
Yes.
is.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
We have a winner.
We have a
You got
winner.
yourself a signed Draft Tuesday poster and WWE
yeah.
vinyl figure.
Yes.
In the house.
Yes.
Always winners. We'll give you time.
Yes. And that poster, we can make it really special for you there, ma'am. Do you have a pin? Do you have a pin with you?
Yeah, give me a moment.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Rich.
Oh.
Mark.
Excuse me, I'm not that old. It should be called Miss.
It is.
Miss.
Okay.
All right.
$5 per tit.
I'll sign your baby. I'll sign your baby. Anybody got a baby? I'll sign your baby.
Put it back.
Push it back.
Uh-oh.
It looks like it's starting to rain.
Just thinking about it.
Yes.
But we could have the Super Radio Brothers sign the poster.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Cool.
Whoa, watch your
The trap.
Star Wars. It's a trap.
First mic stand, now the four.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to get this wet. Let's see which one I got.
I don't know. Usually they charge like $50 for autographs here,
Whoa.
but this is a priceless. This is a priceless thing.
What'd you get?
The Undertaker.
She has gotten the Undertaker. Nice. It should be the
Oh, the
final
other
figure
one.
as part of her prize.
Oh, okay, you're on Facebook. Why don't you show it?
Oh yeah.
She missed it over here.
Oh.
Whoa.
I didn't even know that was a camera. As I started to pick my nose, I was like, oh no. That's tough.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Everyone.
She's a winner.
She's a winner.
It's exciting.
She's a winner.
Oh, yeah.
She. It's Chris
You the only
Carnage.
Chris Carr's the one only.
things is when I'm filling out a check for the election company.
Casey.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Alamo.
Well, the fans coming up asking for advice and names and stuff. All kinds of craziness when you're outside
They're
live.
gonna bounce.
We are going to kick it into Draft Tuesday. We have our, what's the name that I'm saying? The liaison.
Beer.
Tyler?
Tyler is
Our
going to go
liaison.
get us some brew.
Oh, that's the part I've been waiting for.
Which Tyler?
There's a Tyler that might do
Tyler.
this. Yeah.
There's many Tylers.
There's
Just
a lot of
The
Tylers.
infamous
Yes.
Tyler McDaniel?
There are two T's. TTs.
Yes.
All over the place here.
Yes.
A lot of
That's a
TTs.
Spanish word.
Aunt. Titi. That means aunts.
I just didn't know. I knew it was Spanish.
You're still on Facebook Live.
still on Facebook Live. Are people talking to me?
I want to talk
Hey, what's up? Hey, Derek, you gonna show up here?
It's our in-house beer guy. Where is he?
Where is our beer guy? You better get here, man. You better
Probably
get
still
here.
moving.
Is he watching right now so he knows there's urgency? He's got to know that there's urgency right now.
Oh my
I'm
God,
thirsty.
the Everett Lee show. Oh my God, Everett Lee show. I'm biggest fan.
I'm totally thirsty, man.
A lot.
So we're waiting for beer right now so we can taste it and tell you if it's good or not.
Yes.
That's right.
I assume it's going to be good.
Do you just do the full on? What was it, Gladiator? The whole.
Usually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How do we do that? How does the rating system work here on the Everett Lee show
On the Draft Tuesday,
on the Draft Tuesday?
we basically take a sip and we basically do elimination to where we decide which one we cut out what we don't like, and then we
Damn it.
what?
So if I
don't
don't
know.
like one, do I smash it over Mark's head and go? Ah!
I mean, I encourage it. I like the energy.
That would be great. It's
great for the ratings.
Great on camera. Little blood,
Yeah.
a little excitement.
Y'all plan to have this where all four of you were tasting this beer? Because he only handed me 2.
Well, I have a glass here, so if you guys want to give me a little sample.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna share. Share.
Yeah, I didn't know how you guys wanted to do that because that makes it simple. We don't even have to worry about Casey.
That's
Jimmy,
fine.
Ford,
Just
and
2 at a
Vermillion.
time.
Yes.
So this is the first one on you guys' draft. Have at it.
All right.
So our very first one that we're going to be bringing out,
Oh,
Since we're recording this, let's start with a fresh intro into it.
fresh intro. I like freshness.
I forgot.
Because we can edit it out later.
Yes.
Cut. So I got to step back.
Yeah.
Yep. There you
So we
go.
gotta do the. But then the director's cut extended edition. With,
Oh.
this will be the deleted
this-
scene.
Yeah, part of all of our bonus footage for Patreon
Yeah,
members
audio
only.
version is going to be is going up on our Patreon page.
Nice.
This right here
That's
is
right.
going to be the uncut video audio version. We did really well with the last one we did uncut.
In the extended version, I'm just pissing right now. All right, man. I'm ready to try it.
Yeah.
Let me let you know, guys, ahead of time on the show we got no filter.
Okay.
NSFW, is that what it is?
Yeah, we
got-
I'll say it now, NSFW, you
Yeah.
You can do
fucks.
whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever the fuck you
Whatever the
want.
fuck you
Oh.
want. I have no filter on my
NSFW, it's
show.
all good.
Because when you watch the beginning of my podcast, you see the parental advisory. Let
Okay.
everyone
Okay.
know.
We make it
It's
official,
like-
make
yes.
it make people happy.
I'm so used to trying to not curse on the radio. So
That's
it's gonna
fine.
be
That's
tough for
fine.
me.
I do that so I can let people, if
That's
be
Facebook
relaxed,
Live.
if they choose to throw out some words there, that's fine. I'm not going to hold them against them. I'm not going to, you know what?
Do they make the
Shaft?
dick list?
Just refer to the PowerPoint
Yes.
on the screen right now.
Yes.
I
Yes.
spend the day keeping it G-rated on the radio, and once I get in my car going home, I say "fuck, shit, bastard, motherfucker, god damn it," and I'm just driving home.
All right.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah. 2 cameras.
This camera, the one with the blue lights working.
Give me beer.
I point to both. Ha.
All right.
So are you guys gonna pour me some beer or?
Yes.
Just like this.
Yes.
Look, it's
Pour some
happening.
beer.
It's happening.
So you want me to just
Cheers.
Which one was that?
give me the
Mine.
Yours?
That one's
they all
yours.
the
So
same?
supply our friend out of yours.
Okay.
Oh, so we have different ones. Is that a different one from what that one was?
Yeah, is that one different? That one's different, ain't it?
That smells good. I'll tell you
You
what.
guys are right now drinking the Funky Buddha Pineapple Beach Blonde Ale.
Oh man,
Oh.
it smells. So
That's right. Funky Buddha Pineapple Beach Blonde Ale.
Coolest name I've ever heard. Say that again. What is it?
Funky Buddha Pineapple Beach Blonde Ale.
Awesome.
Funky Buddha Beach Pineapple
Blonde ale.
Blonde Ale. I missed the blonde ale. Man, it smells good.
All right, I'm gonna go into throwing an intro here.
Yeah.
All right. Draft Tuesday. This is Draft Tuesday here on the Everett Lee Show. We pick 6 brews, and we pick which one will be the draft pick of the month.
It's
Chris,
starting to rain. I'm scared.
we have the.
Ah.
It is starting to rain
It's
here.
actually bad enough that we do need to move this.
All right,
Like ASAP.
move it back inside.
Scoot it on in.
You guys really don't have that much of shelter from the rain. This is all
Did the camera get unplugged?
Now we're still live.
I heard something go doo 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 doo.
What went unplugged?
I thought it was that cord.
Check the voice meter. See if it's going.
This is what happens when you're live on location.
Mic 3.
Mic 3.
Damn you, Florida summer.
That's their mic.
Oh, they finally shut you up.
No, no.
They finally.
Damn it.
Like, we can't take him anymore.
No.
It happens always.
It was over here. I thought it was. I guess not. Which mic is that?
That one's my mic.
Okay. Yeah, mic 3 is not showing up.
Test.
Here, do this. Just give them your mic and you two share that one.
Why this mic's no
Is
bueno?
it not? No.
Yeah, I pushed it back and it killed it.
Oh no. Did it get knocked
Things
loose in
happen.
the hub there?
That's
Technical difficulties.
What about now?
Unplug, replug.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Am I getting anything out of it?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Alright.
Yes.
Mics.
No.
Oh.
El Swaparino.
Oh no.
Then you know what? We'll just do this.
What?
Well, you know, the right person's around.
Wow.
Oh my God, you know, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay.
You asked. I mean. Oh, something just. Nope, mic 2 just went out.
Don't tell me it did.
Yes, mic 2 just went out.
Alright, go ahead and stop that voice meter and then go back up.
Okay, hang on. Stop recording. Stop recording.
There's over there.
What?
Your glass.
Beer, glass, basketball beer.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, what's that one?
Beer.
Beer. I know it's beer. I know it's beer, but
What's
which
beer?
one?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
Dude,
Supposed
is
to be
that
pineapple.
you on your own shirt? That is like my dream.
Yeah.
You're living my dream.
That tastes like an IPA.
Yeah, it does. It
Tyler,
smells
what
like
was
an
that
IPA.
Yeah.
Was there an IPA?
Tyler, what was the first beer they brought out? 'Cause that's an
The
IPA.
Funky Buddha,
It's
you said,
Funky
right?
Buddha
Beast
blonde.
there.
Blonde. Something.
This is what happens. This is what happens when Jimbo leaves.
Yeah.
And you got a new bartender.
Yeah.
that's
Funky
learning.
Buddha was bald.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
He is.
I'm gonna go ahead and start it from the
Maybe he's
start
got,
it
like,
from the top.
a blonde scarf
Good, good.
or something.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Draft Tuesday on the Everett Lee Show. Draft Tuesday.
Draft Tuesday.
That's right.
We're drinking.
Yes, we are drinking some brews.
I like
We
it.
have 6 brews for this month.
Mark, we need to start doing this on our show. I want to
Yeah.
start drinking when we do a show. It's important. It's
You
important
should.
for the
You should.
world.
Things make a lot of sense.
We'll just steal it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Stealing ideas.
Rich
All
and
right.
Mark.
I'm stealing your ideas.
And we got it recorded.
You got it recorded. Yes.
We'll start drinking wine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Rich and Mark is going to join us for Draft Tuesday.
Gotta be ready.
We got 6 brews, and what is the first brew we have, Chris?
The first one on our list is the Funky Buddha Pineapple Beach Florida Ale, which is a 5%er with a bitterness level of 20.
No.
Wow.
I like that.
What do
Wow.
No, we're supposed to taste it now.
we? Yeah.
Now we gotta taste it.
Yeah,
Cheers.
To the Everett Lee Show. Thank
Yes.
you for inviting us out, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up.
Delicious.
Very.
Yeah, the rest mine. That's how this will work. I'll just give it the rest.
See, Mark likes fruity drinks.
Yeah.
He'd rather
I
have
think
a
we got
daiquiri.
some on the list.
Oh, no.
I think we got some this week on the list.
Refrigerator right now. Strawberry daiquiri.
This actually didn't. This tasted nothing like probably what you guys.
Definitely not.
No, I think
There's,
I got
there's a smoothness to it.
Very.
It's not really biting,
right.
but
A little at the end with the aftertaste, just a little.
There's an aftertaste.
Yes.
I was gonna say that, but it's a very smooth blonde. I like it.
Oh yeah.
What is the? Tell us about the Funky Buddha there, Chris.
Well, some little bit of facts about this is that this gives you a dose of floral American hops and crisp Pilsner malt. Makes this beer ideal for a sun-soaked day.
Oh
Wow.
I'm hot already.
I know.
This summer.
I'm starting to sweat. It's delicious, so I dig it. I'm with it.
Oh yeah, and we have our liaison going to get in round 2 for us.
Oh.
Yes, and I believe
We gave him a fancy title.
I think I did take a sip of the second brew that we have on the list there.
You're a second brew.
Yeah.
Oh, so we did have the two going on here.
Whoops.
Whoops. Yeah. we did have the second one. I have the second one right here.
Oh yes, the Orman Brewing Company Bronze Ale. It's a 5%er. It's an ale with notes of caramel and malt.
Well, that's darker than what that is.
Yeah, that's just a little bit darker.
Just a little.
That's a brown.
Yours a brown.
That's
You got the
like a-
brown.
What'd you put in that
My preference.
brown?
Right around there. Maybe a little darker.
Little McShaft.
Little McShaft. Little McShaft. And it is pouring down here because this is
Oh,
what
yeah.
happens.
Beer guy.
Because hashtag
Beer guys,
Florida.
Come. You afraid to get
Wow.
wet?
The
I
cheap seats over
by the
there.
way, I want to apologize to you guys. This is that dark cloud that follows me around.
Yes.
And I can't get away from it. So, sorry.
Sorry.
Draft 3 is rainwater. It's a delicious
We're going to go run around.
1%.
Ladies and gentlemen, our beer guy,
We have a beer guy.
Wow.
Derek,
Hello, Derek.
has joined us. Derek, Rich,
All right.
and Mark from the Super Radio Brothers.
Hello.
New friend.
He is our
New friend.
official draft
Lots of new friends.
taster. And all my stuff is getting wet.
No two needs notes. Ha ha.
Why is it raining?
Yeah.
Man.
It is getting drenched.
No more outside.
But this,
Do you normally not do this outside? You don't.
No, we do it inside, but Jimbo, the wonderful owner and runner of City Limits Tap Room, suggested, hey, why don't you use Jimboville outside? And
To check out the weather channel. Outside would be a great
I thought it was going to miss us.
This is like 2000.
Ah.
We know what we know what the weather's going to be like 2 months from now, earlier.
We got 8 people in here right now.
It's beautiful.
Packing
The
it in.
notes are getting wet.
We need like a
No two needs notes.
No.
I like when
now, all I gotta say is with this right here, the second brew, it does taste kind of,
yeah.
a little And our second brew, it was the Orman Brewing Company Bronze
Orman, right out of Orman Beach.
So right near us.
The Orman Brewing Company.
Taste here.
No, is that the one you just gave me? So he.
Yeah.
All right, so he just
I
drank.
tasted it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't even know anymore.
Hold on.
What beer you guys on?
This is the Orman Brew
The Orman Brewing Bronze Ale.
Bronze Ale. What do you know about this brew, Derek?
I didn't do a lot of research on it, but
They make beer.
they make beer. Yeah. Ormond is a great brewery. They've been around for at least, I would say, 3 to 4 years now. They really are pretty much a trendsetter as far as which county goes, I would say, as far as what the production and what they offer. But
How about that?
Bronze Ale is, I know it's going to be, I haven't did a lot of research. I have to try it. That's what
I
it
think
boils down to.
it's actually similar to the last beer, the Buddha Blonde. It's got a similar kind of look to it, and it's a smooth taste, a little bit of an aftertaste, but I wouldn't say anything special as far as the taste is concerned.
Okay, so a general lager or ale, not
Yeah.
lager, but ale of.
There's nothing that blows me away.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this tastes pretty
This is
good.
the flagship.
Yeah,
essentially something that the masses will like.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I can dig that.
Yeah, it tastes kind of. What's it taste like to you, Rich?
Well, I think it's very smooth. It's almost like a light IPA, You can taste some hops there. You can taste a little bit of flavor, but at the same time, it's so smooth. It's like the Coors Light of IPAs.
Yes.
And maybe that's the best way to say it. But
Coors Light has GMOs, you know that, right?
oh, well, I love GMOs.
GMOs.
My grandmother used to.
The future is GMOs. Yeah. It's science.
I've got like 7 T-shirts that say GMO, bitch. Sorry.
Get fired up.
Get fired up.
GMOs get me excited. We're gonna tell you. Genetically enhanced motherfuckers. Is that what it is?
Genetically modified organisms.
That's what I meant to say.
Something like
Well, I
that.
knew where you were going.
I was right there.
What's going on?
Yeah, we were sitting there patiently waiting for our
Here he
next
comes.
brew, and
Oh, here he
Here comes the liaison.
Tyler, I gotta say, man, you are the man for doing this.
I'm supposed to have another Guinness.
Is it watered down?
Enjoy some of the water.
Yes.
Oh, look at those. Now,
Thank
I
you so
love that
much, man.
color.
Acid rain.
That is a
It's
perfect
okay.
color
Yes.
right there.
Yes.
Number 2.
That is what I'm talking about right
Oh,
there.
there is number 2.
This is number
the
2.
second. We're going straight down the list. So
Awesome.
So those
We're
are all the
We're
same.
gonna have to
Those
start
were the
down
same.
in a second.
All right. The third one.
This I like.
You said
the
it's
look
coming
of
out.
this.
Yeah, we're doing just how you guys have it written out.
Just go ahead and get round 3 going.
Awesome.
The Orman
I-
Blonde.
This is orange.
Sweet.
I do got to get it up for Tyler, man, because with
The other one was
with
the
it
Buddha.
raining,
Oh, Funky Buddha.
he's running out and getting us some brews.
No, this is not. This is a Cigar City apple pie.
Yep.
Yes.
Homemade apple pie.
Oh, there he goes.
Inside it.
All right.
And this is a tried and true Irish tradition of the darkest of all darks. the king of all kings. A pint of Guinness right there. That's
Damn.
what started it all for me.
Always amazing.
On 34th and 5th Avenue. Nothing better than that.
And we got some glasses and stuff, which is good.
Oh yeah, I got it. And that's the V twin over there.
Yes.
Cheers to all my friends in the Bronx. You know what's up when I'm holding the Guinness.
Hell yeah.
But we are here with number 2. This is the Ormond Brewing Bronze Ale.
Yes.
So we got some bronze here. I love the color. I love. Hey, cheers, fellas.
Oh, very nice. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. And what? Nice.
You can definitely taste that caramel
Nice.
malt.
And what can you tell us about this one, Derek?
Which one?
This is the Ormond again.
Ormond.
Ormond again?
Yes.
That it's
Actually,
a beer?
whoops. That's all right.
You already done talked about it.
Ended up.
He already done talking about it. He gave us all the. What do you think about it?
I've been drinking today, so.
Put it on the palate.
It smells pretty straightforward. Ale smell, a little bittery. This is really the ale?
No, we just gave you a fake beer.
Yeah. That's.
It's secretly O'Doul's.
I peed in that glass.
Damn, this is excellent.
You didn't even see me. I was right there.
I'm going to say it does have, you said earlier, pale ale quality to it.
Right.
Not really an IPA because it doesn't have the
No, it's not an
bittering
IPA.
forwardness,
Yeah.
nor is the nose of it very floral at all. But I will say, as far as the beer goes, the color is beautiful like an ale.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I would have to say it's a good beer. I wouldn't say it's sessionable, but it's not a beer that would pick my fancy.
I'm totally with you. Like I'm drinking it right now, and it's got a beautiful color. It looks great. It's just it doesn't seem like anything special to me. You know what I mean? It's like I could pick up an Irish red, and it can be any Irish red. You know what I mean?
Well, the Irish Reds will have a lot. They're going to be like a hybrid between like an IPA and and a red ale.
Yeah. So it's kind of
yeah.
that to me, you know. But it's not like it tastes bad.
No,
It tastes
not
good.
at all. Not at
I could
all.
drink this all night.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it. You taste those caramel aftertones with it a lot. It really brings that nice flavor
Good
together.
taste to it.
I say
Pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth.
30, 50 IBUs.
On this
Mark,
one,
you're not much of a beer drinker.
I am not.
Could you see yourself drinking
No,
that
no.
beer?
That's the guy you need to ask.
A little bit. I mean, like I'm not one to just like chug beers or anything like that. But I mean, I'm sipping it.
I do if the setting's right.
But the taste is actually pretty
Tastes
good.
all right, right?
It's not too bitter. You're like I'm just like
Yeah, it's very smooth.
Yeah.
You see, someone like me, I'm looking for that bitterness. You know,
Yeah, you
I
might be a
want
good
that.
hop head.
Yeah.
I personally am not big on hops as much lately. It's just a kick, go through back and forth. Mainly I like to deal with quads, Belgian doubles, Belgian beers. But you have the 120 rolling out all over town, which is Dogfish Head 120. 120 minutes of continuous hop sensation. It is a great beer to have, especially after the last 2 to 3 years. Dogfish Head had very low production because they had to dump their beers because they're all about quality assurance and they don't want their fans to be drinking diluted or corrupted beer by bad.
Corrupted.
Corrupted.
Take that beer
How
off.
many times I've been corrupted in the last 2 months?
Dang. You get better antibiotics, bro.
Mark, tell him about that.
we don't need to revisit that
Yeah.
right now.
Oh man, but it was good. It was good. I think it was good.
Yeah, it was. It tasted pretty good. It did taste really good. It did. And what do we have on next on the list?
This next
on
one-
the wet
Oh,
list.
number 3.
The wet list. Sorry, I got excited.
Number 4, the invasion.
This one is going to be the Motorworks Brewing V-Twin Vienna Lager right here.
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah.
Wait, where do those beers come from? What happened to me?
From Magic.
I have Guinness.
It came from, hey, empty that glass and let's pour something in it.
Yes, that glass is empty. You're gonna have something in it,
Give me a
man.
little bit in there. All right.
Oh, there you go. This is the Motorworks Brewing V-Twin Vienna Lager. It's a 4.7% alcohol content with its IBUs around 24.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bright copper in color with a creamy head, light toast Munich malt aroma with a moderate but firm hop bitterness to balance out the rich Vienna malt taste. It has a slightly creamy mouthfeel that dries in the finish.
Creamy.
It's dry.
Creamy.
He likes that creamy head, I'll tell you.
Yes, it does. It does taste a little. It does taste a little bit creamy.
I do too.
It does taste.
Yeah.
It does have that taste to it there. I don't know if you tasted that right there.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was a great
Yes.
description of the beer, and again, very smooth beer so far. You know, there's
Oh, yeah.
there's not much of an aftertaste to it. It goes down really smooth.
It's good drinkability.
This one, exactly. You know, a lot of drink, and this one seems a little thicker than the last two. Am I off on that?
Heyo.
Yeah, just a little. It does seem a little bit thick. It does, don't it, Derek?
It's a little bit. The body, the mouthfeel is going to be more medium body. Not
That mouthfeel.
body.
Heyo.
Now, actually, a cool story. You guys already
We're
got
not
the notes
12.
of the beer already. You already
No.
got the notes. I'm going to say the Vienna style lager originated in Vienna, Austria.
That's in Italy, by the way.
Anyways, the beer came around in like the 1860s, I want to say. And another beer that's similar to this.
Revolutionary War beer. Very cool.
Yeah, slightly, yeah. True. So is Pabst.
Oh, you want- They had
So-
wooden beer glasses, by the way. You
Yeah,
get
no.
splinters when you're drinking beer.
I believe it.
Is that real?
Yeah,
As-
I heard. I
Like-
don't know. I might have heard something like that.
I've seen that in movies or something.
But the style of beer is also similar to Modelo Negro, which is also a Vienna style lager.
That is good stuff.
It is.
Yes, it is.
But not as good as this, I would say. Not as good as the Beach Wind.
I agree with you. It's very
Yeah.
drinkability. You said that's the
Oh,
perfect
yeah.
word for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Mark, not a beer drinker.
Yes.
What do you think?
I feel like this one's a little more bitter than the other ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a beer drinker.
Not a bitter at all. No. I don't know, this one I feel like more of an aftertaste than the other ones we had before.
like the beer? Would BB-8 like it?
Would
BB-8
BB-8? What would BB-8 like?
Yeah.
What would BB-8 do?
What would
Yeah,
BB-8 do?
I sit a little drink in front of it with a little crazy straw in front of it. Yeah.
I just see BB-8 somehow smacking him in the back of the head. Bring me beer, bitch! And BB-8 doesn't even have hands. So how's that gonna happen? It's just like balls.
No, but he did that little. He
Oh, yeah.
did have that little flame. Like remember he gave the thumbs up.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
He got tricks.
Yes.
That was like the best part of
Yeah,
the
he got
movie.
tricks.
You got
Does
tricked.
the whole launch
Yes.
thing. Like
BB-8 was
Falcon.
awesome. I have to admit that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
Enjoy
neat. It was neat.
Yeah.
Had a lot of great personality for it.
On our next one that we have here.
All right, what's our next two that we have?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Cola.
Light and refreshing and.
That's pineapple.
Right there. Those
This is
two.
the stout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my stuff right there.
Yes.
Here we go.
Comparison.
That and the one
What
next to it.
stout is that compared to Guinness? Look at that, similar color.
Yes.
That's the
It's
stuff right
milk
there.
stout.
Yeah, it's the Barley Mow Brewing Company Maven Chocolate Milk
Your stout.
Stout.
percentage.
Yeah, lactose though.
Yeah.
You can smell it.
Oh, really?
Hold on, let me get my
Yeah,
glass.
that like
Oh.
lactose.
Oh my god.
Lactosey smell.
Yeah, this is a 6.5%er.
Is it gluten free?
Hell no.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention, guys. What's it called?
It's okay.
This is the Barley Mow Brewing Company
I
Maven
got it on
Chocolate
mark.
Milk Stout.
Chocolate milk stout. Are you kidding me? This is going to be the greatest beer of all time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to our liaison.
Thank you so much, man.
You
I
are the
know it's
man
raining
in
out
the
here.
rain.
You went way
Oh, that's
above
good.
and
I'll give you a wink, wink, nudge, nudge later.
Like a couple trips.
Oh, yeah.
Those are cool.
Thank you,
Awesome.
dude.
Thank you so much. We gotta give it
I
up.
tried every one of them, so if I'm walking.
He got his sips in.
It's by far the best one of them.
But
Last one on the list, the big nose. Holy shit.
oh snap! But this is the Barley Mow Brewing Company Maven Chocolate Milk Stout. It's a 6.5%er, dark and ominous. This medium body brew is aged on Venezuelan cocoa nibs and Pinellas Chocolate Company. It has interwoven flavors of roasted malt character, a sweetness with notes of cocoa, dark chocolate, and roasted coffee.
Man, all the things I love.
Yes.
And I'll tell you right now, look, I have a biased opinion because this is what I drink, and it's my favorite so far. Great taste.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's so
that tastes
good.
really good.
I could drink this all night. This is
Beer guy,
a very malty and delicious. Just
good old BG.
taste.
Go ahead and try that,
Yeah,
McShaft.
very good, very good.
Try that out. How's that taste?
Well,
Oh, you got
smoky.
Huh? 100% that beer.
Smoky.
It has
Smoky.
It does have some smoke character to it.
The smoky characters.
Some
Yes.
toasty,
Very smoky.
toasted malts, some coffee notes to it.
Like a 420 beer.
The chocolate
Haha.
I can't really taste the chocolate.
rolls off really at the end, like a more bittering, not a sweet chocolate,
didn't taste
like
the
a
chocolate
bitter,
so
a
much.
bitter chocolate.
Yeah, I don't taste it quite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
I taste a lot more of the coffee than the
It
chocolate.
does.
Yeah.
It does taste a little bit coffee. It does taste like that, and you can still taste
love
the
it, though.
stout.
I love it.
Yeah, it has a nice balance.
There's some acidity to this that's
Yes.
giving you the smoke flavor that you're tasting, as well as you have some roasted notes. Already stated that, but I mean, as far as milk stout, I'm not a big milk stout guy. I'm more of like straight stout. Like
Right.
Yes.
that's it.
Like last month's winner, the Dude Stout.
The Dude Stout, yes, that was our last month winner. If you
Oh,
were here
yeah?
last
I
month, you
probably
would have
would've
loved
loved
it. You
it,
would have
yeah.
loved it, Rich. For sure.
Oh yeah, Orman Brewing's the Dude Stout, still on tap here at City Limits Tap Room.
Yes.
Really amazing beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, I gotta
Yeah.
give that one a shot.
Yeah, before you leave, try a shot, man. You'll be
Oh,
like,
we will.
wow. Excellent. What do we have next?
Oh yeah,
Tyler?
Yeah, next.
I gotta tell you guys, at this point of the broadcast, I love you guys.
I love you guys too.
I just want to tell you,
Another big nose.
I don't know you too well, but I love you.
No, not Big Nose. Not, that's
Yeah,
IPA.
you want that.
Pineapple.
Nobody's paying attention to my emotions.
Or whatever, whichever
No, you
one.
get the pineapple.
Yeah.
Damn, look at how good I am.
I've been drinking.
Pineapple first.
Oh, wait. Look at that guy right there. It took time to get the pointing right. Oh wait, are we doing something?
Yes. Our next brew. What is
Oh, this
our
is
next
more
brew
Golden
on our wet
City.
notes?
More golden.
My super. I'm pretty sure it smells like a Cigar City.
Golden ale, por favor. Gracias.
All right, I'll try not to. I keep getting Mark wet. I keep getting it wet,
It's
man.
raining, bitch. Feel it. Feel it.
Feels now.
Yeah, this is Cigar City Brewing. Oh, these notes are so wet.
Can you help us out there, Michelle?
Cigar City Brewing Invasion American Pale Ale, 5%er, with IBUs coming in at 36, and it has an original gravity of 12.4.
Oh.
This is actually made down in Tampa. Really amazing. This is one of their regulars that they have, so you can get this year round.
Wow. It does taste like an IPA, man. I'm gonna say that right
Yeah,
there.
But you're drinking Cigar City.
Yes.
And,
It's fantastic. It's great.
What you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Cigar City.
It's not bad. I love Cigar City beers. They got a good brown ale too.
It's
Wow. The nose,
All good. All good.
nose is very citrusy, grapefruit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's an
Very
IPA, but
floral.
it's not really that bitter at all. You know, there's not much bite to it.
Nah.
I've already
it
had
tastes
plenty of
good.
these beers.
No, it's American Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
This reminds me of Tomoka Brewery's blonde IPA that they have.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Tomoka Brewery.
The rival of
I
the
have,
Lemon
yeah,
Brewery.
yeah, they're really good.
They are.
Yeah, no, they're-
That's their rival.
Stone Throw, yeah.
I actually,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
We did, I did a remote broadcast for the radio station where our booth was set up right across from Tomoka Brewery, and I kept walking over to them. And I can't name any of the beers they were giving me, but after about 20 minutes, I was just on the floor.
Yeah.
Usually what I
They
know,
had
right?
some good stuff there.
Well, you know, I did the beer tour there at Tomoka Brewery because they have two locations, one in Ormond,
Yeah.
one in Port Orange. One in Port Orange serves food and stuff. Their brewmaster is actually from over in Germany. They brought him over here
Oh wow,
to make all their beers and stuff.
that's awesome.
Gertrude? Oh, no, not Gertrude.
I can't
I
remember
know his name.
Yeah,
I know. I've talked to him.
yeah,
I know
he's a
him
really
from Belgium,
cool guy.
yeah.
But yeah, if you get a chance, go to the Tomoka Brewery in Port Orange. You can do the beer tour there and stuff. They pretty much have the same stuff there, but they usually do about a handful of different ones every month. Like they came out with the Elvis one last month, which is like a peanut butter banana stout.
Ooh.
Yeah, really good.
You know, I
Really
dig.
good.
So this isn't an IPA. This is what?
An American Pale Ale.
American. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
this is very smooth. I don't know. For me, I like it when the taste is so strong, you know, and so bitter, like it
So you're
smacks you.
Well, you got the IBUs. There's only 36 IBUs. You're talking about like you want a beer that has 100 plus IBUs. something
Yeah, I
that's
want to
straight
taste it.
palate
You know?
wrecking.
I'm like,
as
ooh, you know, as soon as I
Stone-
taste it, yeah.
When Stone was doing Ruination, that was 150 IBUs.
blocking Reed.
I know.
Get over here!
That's right. Look at that back.
And when you talk, look into that camera there. Let them know how
Last
beautiful you
final
are.
two.
Reminds me of what's that movie Without a Paddle? It's like we're cold, we're in one room, we got to huddle together to keep warm.
My body. My body.
Oh, what do we have here? This is something else special.
This is the last one,
This
isn't
is
it?
the last
This
one.
is the last one. This is the Swamphead Brewing Big Nose IPA, a 7.3% alcohol volume. IBU's rating in at 56,
You don't like Mark.
with original gravity at 15.5 Plato.
Let it rain.
Oh yeah.
We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's great with crystal clear spring water that originates deep in the I cannot pronounce that swamp. Big Nose IPA is a mystical nectar brewed for hop lovers. Inhale the aroma and devour the flavor of Big Nose.
I like Swamp Thing.
Agafanaki.
Akafanaki, yeah.
He's a protector of the fauna.
You know it.
Green, yeah.
Oh God.
Yes, that's good.
It's an IPA, all right.
Yes.
Oh my
Now
God.
that's what I'm talking about. That's
Oh.
what I'm talking about.
I don't like IPAs.
That's why I held off that IPA on the list.
Non-beer drinkers reaction. We got to disagree. This is a strong IPA.
Mark,
Oh,
you're a
rough.
non-beer drinker.
No.
You said, like Rich said, you're a fruity. You like. Fruity.
No.
I didn't mean.
Straight up. That's recorded.
First off,
And now they'll never come back.
I didn't say that though. I said you like fruity drinks. I didn't say you're fruity.
Oh, my God.
He's a very manly man.
I am. I try.
I mean, the notes are.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
IPA.
Mark, What do you think? What do you think?
Oh, that is bitter.
That is bitter.
That is-
IPAs, man. It's a strong IPA.
That
It's a BG.
It is a strong IPA, but to me, it's a standard IPA to me. I like it, but nothing really is.
But it's not even that strong.
No, it's not aggressive.
Yeah.
It's not too aggressive, but it still has that IPA bite to it.
It has that bitter. It has that
does.
bitter
It's
IPA.
balanced.
You know,
Yes.
as soon as you take the first
But
sip, you know it's an IPA.
Yeah,
and
you
I
know it's
don't-
an IPA when you taste it, but it's still smooth to me. You know, there's not a bite to it. You know, there's nothing that's making me go, yeah. You know, I'm just like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 beers ahead of you.
Nothing's really blowing up right now. I mean, like I've had that beer plenty of times.
It's okay.
That it's not like anything wowtastic.
Have you
but
tried it?
That's the first beer I had. Well, here's the
like
thing,
it.
though. Here's the thing, though. I'm not an IPA drinker. I'm more of like a blonde to like a red ale, maybe some like fruit beers like blueberry, like Sea Dog and stuff. I can drink that. That's not too bad of an IPA.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
very
just-
smooth IPA, right?
Yeah.
I'm just not too much an IPA. I'm like you. I like my stouts. I've become really a big fan of the stouts, stout flavored drinks.
Stout brother.
Yes. I do like every once in a while. I do like a nice crisp like IPA, but that right there, it just hits me when I take the first sip of an IPA. I'm like, ugh. But then when I get to the end, I'm like, that tastes pretty good. It's just, I guess like the
Love-hate
first
relationship.
impression. It gets me with what an IPA tastes, and a lot of people love drinking that, man. I mean, they love drinking that hard IPA.
I'm gonna
I don't know
tell
how many hard IPA drinkers we
I'm a
have
big
here.
time IPA. I love the
Hophead.
stouts, but I love
Hophead.
Hophead too. I love the IPAs, and I'll tell you, when you get a really strong IPA, there's a magic to it. There's when you taste that and you taste all those hops, and it's strong and it's bitter, and you really taste it. There's nothing better than that. It's very special. So
Oh yeah.
I think that was good, but the strength, the punch isn't there that you get from the really good IPAs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right,
That was it.
That is
So
it.
we got to pick one.
moment of truth. Let's run down the list here on our wet list here.
Dremel.
Our first one, we had the Funky Buddha Pineapple Beach
do it
Blonde
with
Ale.
Now I'm tired. I tried. Sorry.
APV, is at 5%. Then next we had the Ormond Brewing Company Bronze Ale with the APV at 5%. Cigar City Brewing Invasion American Pale Ale at
Another 5%.
Then we had the Motorworks Brewing V Twin Vienna Lager at 4.7%. Then we had the Barley Mow Brewing Company Maven Chocolate Milk Stout.
A 6.5.
5.
A little bit bigger kick in the nuts.
Yes. Then we had the Swaphead Brewing Big Nose IPA, which was at 7.3.
The biggest kick in the nuts.
Yes. And then finally we finished it off.
That was it.
That was it right there.
That was it.
That was it.
Oh, so
You get excited.
3, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So out of those 6, what was your favorite?
What was your favorite beer taster?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go with Cigar City just because of the fact that they only sell in Florida because they have such production and demand here in the state. So I'm going to have to go with the more sessionable beer, which is the Bronze.
Okay.
So that's one for Orman Brewing.
Rich?
I mean, it's clear. My favorite.
I think we know where this is going.
Far was the chocolate milk stout.
Yes.
For sure, definitely the best tasting one. There was, I dug the IPAs that we tasted and the APA. Very smooth and very drinkable words you guys use, which I totally agree with. But when I drink an IPA, I'm looking for something to knock my socks off taste-wise and just explode with flavors in my mouth. And none of those IPAs did it for me. But I think that the chocolate milk stout definitely tasted good and was a special brew. So I enjoyed it. That would be my number one.
Mark?
The non-beer drinker. I would agree with the Ormond, the Bronze. I think that was probably my favorite one out of all of them. It was smooth. It was a nice, clean taste. Not very bitter at all. So I think that's the one I would go with.
Oh man,
I love the stout. I do love the stout, but let me see the list here.
Have fun.
It's a little wet.
We have some fun here.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with the first one with the Funky Buddha. I did like the taste of that pineapple.
Oh right.
That was tasty. I did like the Funky Buddha. I'm a stout drinker, but I wanted to basically, when I tried that right there, the Bleach Blonde Ale, that did it for me right there.
Well, damn, now I feel like the guy's going to tie it all up because honestly, I enjoyed the milk stout.
All right.
That was honestly my favorite. It had great drinkability. That's right. As you see, I'm still drinking it. It had great drinkability, great taste, not too much after bite. It's something I really enjoy because, IPAs, I enjoy IPAs, but sometimes you get ones like Hop Gun and whatnot that just kick you in the teeth. So, I enjoy something a little bit smoother, a little bit more relaxed, and this would be it. But that puts us in a tie because now we have two. For what? The Bronze Ale, two for the milk stout. We gotta leave this to McShaft.
McShaft is our tiebreaker. Look into the camera there, McShaft.
So, this week's Draft Tuesday is fixing to get McShafted.
Yo.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
It means whatever you want it to mean.
All right.
I'm going.
I sure hope
with
McShaft
the,
is copyrighted.
I'm going with the brown ale.
Oh,
Yes.
did we win?
Bronze Ale.
The bronze ale.
Oh,
Bronze ale. I'm going with the bronze ale. Boop. There you go. Microphone. Nope.
Cheers to the mic.
Going with
Yeah.
The power of the voice.
Power of the mic.
And the message.
Yes.
So the
And
Bronze Ale is our draft pick of the month.
And not to discourage
So upset.
not to discourage anybody because I'm not a huge stout person. I have a stout every once in a while, and that stout was pretty good, but the ale was, the flavor was right there. I mean, I could sit down and I could drink about 5 or 6 of those compared to the stout. So that's where I kind of lean my yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm the kind of person to where I
Sessionable.
like to sit one place and not move around and just drink a bunch. So if I could sit down and have about 4 or 5 of one, it's got my heart.
All right.
There it is.
All right. Chris Carnage, us the
So that makes us officially this month's draft pick for Draft Tuesday will be the Orman Brewing Company Bronze Ale. Give it up to it. Go try it.
Yes.
At your local bar that carries it. Like City Limits Tap Room.
Yes.
And Guinness, still the best.
Throw those wet notes.
That was a lot of fun, man. With the rain and the technicality with moving the laptop around.
Damn it, Mother Nature.
For some reason, during the middle of this, McShaft noticed that the video quit recording and we had to turn it back on in the middle of.
And then we lost mics and rain started. Nature started pissing on us.
The podcast is an
My
audio.
gosh.
Serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Theater
God,
of the mind.
Yes. Thank God we have the audio.
Unfortunately,
You know, it's
all of
funny.
the best material happened when it was out. So I
Well,
tried.
the audio kept rolling, man.
Oh,
This is gonna be
so
good.
I'm screwed. Nothing was good.
False advertisement.
The audio version of this will be available on the Patreon site on patreon.com/ELS_DT. You'll be able to hear the uncut audio as it is.
So become a member now,
Become a member now.
so you can listen to it.
Now you can listen to everything that went on tonight.
Because it was fun and it was crazy and even a little bit wet.
Yes.
It was wet outside.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Puns intended.
Nick Shafts everywhere.
One last shaft.
Oh, sorry.
McShaft.
Shaft.
Oh, who let
guys.
you outside?
Rich, Mark,
Yeah, man.
gotta ask you guys.
All right.
You follow sports.
Oh yeah, I'm a big
Oh, yeah.
sports fan.
Sports fan. What would be your favorite sport? You
Oh man, that's a tough thing when you're talking about favorite sport. I'm a big when it comes down to it, for me, it comes down to baseball, football, and basketball. Big Yankee fan. I grew up in the Bronx, so big Yankee fan. Also a big New York Jets fan, New York Knicks fan. So for me, it's baseball.
I'm
football,
sorry.
and basketball. Yeah, thank you for acknowledging my pain because it's been
Don't worry. I feel similar to pain. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
pain.
Lots of pain,
You are familiar.
especially down in this area.
But at least you've been to a Super Bowl beyond the year of 1969.
This is true, and we lost it to those bastards known as the New England
So
Patriots.
what would be worse? Would it be worse to lose a Super Bowl or to have never been there?
I don't know. Ask the Buffalo Bills.
I've never been there. The Buffalo
man.
Bills, they lost 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
So I don't know. That's. Do we have a Buffalo Bills fan in the house? Mark,
We know some.
Mark, make believe you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
No, I can't do that.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain when being a sports.
But you know what, though? At least I get a rebound because I'm a Red Sox fan, so at least we've won something in the past 10 years. Yeah, you know.
Over me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I want to bring up some MLB. Yesterday during
Oh, yeah.
Memorial Day, I threw on some ESPN. I did watch Baltimore versus Yankees.
Right.
It was a close game. Baltimore winning
Baltimore won 3-2.
3-2.
Aaron Judge
But
hit another home run, by the way.
yes,
And the Yankees are winning 8-0 tonight. Just to throw that out there.
awesome.
Oh, but there's a bigger elephant in the room, though.
Yeah.
In the San Francisco
The
Giants
game after.
Giants are
versus
terrible.
Washington Capitals.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about.
Oh, there's a particular moment between Harper.
Harper and
Oh,
Strickland.
the fight.
Yes.
The fight. The brawl.
I'll tell you what happened. I was sitting there after I got done doing.
Are you guys national fans or?
Go Red
I
Sox.
just had it on just to watch it because I had company over yesterday. I fired up the grill for Memorial Day. I had people over.
Oh, yeah, all
We're
fun.
sitting there all eating, and we were sitting there. We had the national game
there's
on,
my sports
national
update.
and the Giants game on. Then all of a sudden, my mom, she's 70 years old and she's a big baseball fan. She loves watching
Right.
baseball. All of a sudden, she starts jumping up and down and going, "Oh my God, he's coming after him!" We turn and look at the TV. All we seen was Harper coming after Strickland, and the dugout flooded out into the field.
Well, what do you
man.
think about this? The big story there. One of the big stories is the fact that
2014.
Posey.
Oh, yeah, Posey standing aside.
involved.
Yeah. They asked him about that after the fact, too.
Yeah.
And what did he say? He said
He said, he probably has a point here, to be able to go, after him like that.
Posey didn't want to get hurt. And to be fair, we've seen that often in these big
Oh, yeah.
baseball brawls over the years where guys get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want to see. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and just to put it out there, Red Sox are winning 7-3 over the White Sox.
The Red Sox, who are 3 games behind your New York Yankees, by the way.
It's a long season.
Now the thing is, Harper, when he was asked about it,
That's going to be big.
Harper was asked about what happened, and he said when he got hit with the ball, he made a decision: take your base or take matters into your hands. He said, so I decided to take matters into my hands.
He has amazing hair, Bryce Harper.
Yes.
Oh, he had gorgeous hair. Kylo Ren almost hair.
Kylo Ren.
Exactly.
He's the Kylo
How
Ren
does
of
he make that
baseball.
happen?
Yes.
You're supposed to swing a bat,
That's pretty good stuff there, too.
No product either.
No product. Now the thing is, with what happened with baseball, that was it hit Twitter. Twitter flooded, man. It was like almost it was basically trending.
Really, there was water coming out of my computer.
Now the thing is, with sport, with the baseball, you have anything to add?
Well, I had a bunch of notes, but we got pissed on by Mother Nature, so...
Well, what
You
about?
don't need notes
No,
in
not those.
baseball. Just throw it out there. What do you got?
At the end of the day, that whole entire situation between those two was really stemming, a lot of people think, from their last meeting in 2014 in the playoffs.
Yes.
That's right, when Harper was able to blast 2 home runs. And that's a big thing, and a lot of people expect a lot of fines and suspensions and all kinds of things to possibly come of this. So, something to watch and see. A lot of people think the Giants might go ahead and just jump in there and be like, no, you're out here already. We're not going to deal with it. But we'll see, But a lot of these kind of things happen.
Yes.
Now, what is your take on that whole thing? Because there's a lot of debate right now about the fact that a brawl can happen, that a grudge can be held for 2 years. Do you think that's outrageous? or do you think it's just part of the game and nothing should be done about it?
As someone who's been a competitive athlete, part of it can be a part of the game, but when you're going out there with malicious intent and throwing your helmet, throwing wild punches, there has to be a point in time where you say, you know what, I need to control myself because 1, you're on national television, 2, you're in front of a packed house, and 3, you're representative of a franchise. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Those veterans are going to be pissed.
Yeah, the veterans. Yeah, the veterans are going to come out of retirement and kick someone's ass. Basically,
it's time for a fight. It's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Harper should have found a way to control himself. He shouldn't hold a grudge for 2 years over home runs.
Should have found a way to control himself.
Absolutely agree as well. So it's both sides.
I don't blame Harper for charging him out in that spot. You know what?
He nailed him right in the hip with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
And you know what amazes me? When he got hit, it was like he didn't even flinch.
No, he was instant pissed.
Yeah, it was like because
the Hulk. You know what?
He hulked out, man.
But you mentioned he knew it was coming. He expected it, and it happened, and he knew exactly what he was going to do.
Oh yeah.
When it happened, he was like, you know what? If he's going to hit me with a fastball right now, I'm charging him out. He got hit with a fastball. He charged him out. The bench is emptied, and we had a whole bench clearing brawl there. And it happens often in baseball, more often than people like to admit.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's part of the game, and I'm the type of guy who looks at hockey and this
a lot of fighting happened there.
Opinion, but I think the fighting in hockey is pretty stupid.
Yes.
But at the same time, a brawl in baseball, I think it's stupid as well, especially when you're talking about something that happened 2 years ago.
Yes.
But it happened, and you cannot blame Bryce Harper in that moment, in the heat of the moment, getting hit by a fastball that could potentially end your career.
Yes.
You never know.
We've seen that happen
when that ball leaves your hands. Is it going to hit? We've seen it happen, like you said. Yeah. We saw a guy in 1923, whatever it was, die getting hit in the head by a fastball. So this is a serious situation. A guy gets hit by a fastball, he's going to charge the mound. That's baseball. Do you want to figure out a way to police it in a particular way? I don't think there is a way.
There really isn't, especially with how many officials are out on the field. You're not going to be able to stop 2 teams from clearing their benches, coming out one to swing.
If the culture of baseball changes, where it's acceptable that, someone showed me up when he hit a home run off me a couple years ago, that's okay. When the culture changes and that's okay, that's when you're going to see less situations like that. But right now, the culture is, if someone shows me up, they hit a home run, they take their time rounding the bases, you know what? Next time I see that guy, I don't care if it's spring training, I'm going to hit him with the baseball. And that's just what the culture is. So there's no real way of policing that.
Right.
No, there really isn't. Because they'll go out there with the intent either way. You can't stop intent.
Yeah, you definitely can't. And one thing in intent that seems like on a downward spiral, Tiger Woods, man. Tiger Woods got arrested.
DUI arrest.
Shocker.
I mean, ever since, I was telling Carnage this, ever since Tiger Woods
I had all kinds of stats for this.
had problems with his wife, it seems like everything has went downhill for him, man. I mean,
he hasn't won a major since that.
Exactly. Carnage brought that up. He has not won anything since that happened. He was up there with Nicholson, and he was up there with Palmer. I mean, he was
expecting him to become the all-time winningest, greatest golfer of all time, and his problems with his wife really derailed.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean to say that he hasn't already had a legendary career.
Oh, absolutely.
He stopped playing at that point and still been one of the greatest golfers of all
time.
But
look at it. Since his first back surgery back in March of 2014, he has played only 19 worldwide events, has only one single top 10 finish, and had 7 missed cuts and 3 withdrawals. That is not good for somebody supposed to be the best.
Yes,
absolutely. And that's since 2014 from his first back surgery.
Yeah.
Which he just had his 4th back in April.
Yes. Yeah, he's fallen from grace.
Well, let me ask, is he done?
I mean, he's been done for at least 3 years now, Who knows? And I think when you look at us as a society, we look at these guys, whether it's LeBron James, anybody at the top of their sport, and for whatever reason, I really believe this. I think a large segment of the population, the largest segment of the population, we're haters. And
absolutely
want to see that great athlete fall. They want to see them fall. However,
like Tom Brady.
And like anybody, we want to see that guy at the top. We want to see them fall. But at the same time, when that person falls, I still think there's a segment of the population that wants to see them rise again. So I think there are people out there who
That comeback story.
Yeah, you want to see that comeback. So it's must see TV.
Yeah.
You want to see it happen.
Right.
And I think there are plenty of people out there who want to see Tiger come back from this, but he seems like his own worst enemy. When you look at the latest reports from TMZ, you're talking about a guy who had prescription drug problems. Now it's not even a question about, he took it from the line.
And he blamed this whole thing on the prescription drugs that he had.
Bad combination.
And it seems like that's the case. And you have to ask yourself, is it really, a product of what we see in society now? Because it's not just a problem with Tiger Woods. That's a problem in all society as far as opiates and people's addiction to painkillers.
Yes.
It's a microcosm of what's happening countrywide. So I think he's the type of guy with problems that people can relate to, and if he can somehow climb out of it and compete for a major again, people will have his back and root for him. I just don't know if that's ever going to happen again.
Especially after a fusing surgery. He has vertebrae that are fused now, so that makes his whole entire range of motion completely different from what he had before.
It would be a miraculous comeback.
Very.
It would it definitely would have to be a miraculous comeback. And it's just, I'd like to see Tiger make that comeback and get back on top.
Oh, who wouldn't?
It's like so many athletes, it's like you get to the top and there's only one other place to go after.
Well, there's a difference, though, between wanting to get there and reality. Yeah. And that's the problem he's going to have to face.
Yeah,
because he has all kinds of problems right now.
Yeah, he does. He does have a lot of problems, and I hope he gets them straightened out, and I'd like to see him out there and doing what he does best.
I think that's tough for Tiger. It's not a sport like basketball where the physically dominant figure will usually win. The bigger guy usually
I mean, that's how we have Cavs Warriors Part 3.
That's what you usually get. Or the Lakers dominating in the 80s, or the Celtics dominating in the 60s. This is what you see in basketball, where the physically dominant team wins. In golf, it's more like baseball, where there's a lot of luck involved and a lot of chance and a lot of patience and a lot of failure involved.
It's a lot of the elements too.
A lot of that. Perfect situations, any kind of number of things.
It's so difficult for a guy like Tiger to really return and be a part of the top echelon of athlete that you expect to see in the sport. It's just a hard comeback to make, man. It really is.
I have to agree.
It is. It is hard. It is hard for someone to make a comeback, but like I said, I wish for the best. I hope he gets through this and he gets back on top of his game. What else you got there?
Well, we have the NHL playoffs that just started between Pittsburgh and Nashville.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 1 was last night.
Oh, 5-3 win by Pittsburgh.
I know. It was Did you watch any of it?
I only watched bits and pieces. Didn't get to watch a lot because parent life.
Well, first, Nashville scored a goal, but Pittsburgh asked for a replay, and it got called back because they said it was offsides.
Son of a bitch!
Which is a new thing. Replays really starting to sweep through sports now.
So then Pittsburgh went up to a 3-goal lead.
Yep.
And then in the third period, Nashville came back and tied it. But then Pittsburgh came back.
Pittsburgh put it away.
Yeah. So 5-3 final game.
So I honestly, I was about to say, I very hope it makes it for a very exciting series. With them being able to come back like that. Then of course, just the leadership and veteran play of Pittsburgh. Guys like Sidney Crosby and whatnot are going to come through all the time.
When it was 3-0, I was expecting 7-0 against Ottawa last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're thinking it was, it's going to be like this.
There it goes.
The entire series.
Well, it's one of those series where, and I'm not a big hockey guy. I tell Mark all the time, nobody cares about hockey. But,
Go Flyers.
But, when you
no title since 77.
You're talking about a team that they're coming off of a championship. They've been there.
They
know how to win. And you have a Nashville team that's never been there. You expect, with a guy like Crosby playing, you expect that team to make the plays to win the series.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's what we're looking at right now.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I honestly think they're going to flex it all the way through and end up just taking it home.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see in these playoffs, man, and see who comes out on top and winning that Stanley Cup, man.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. But we do have some good updates with NFL. A little bit of NFL news.
Yes.
Cowboys quarterback Nolan Carroll got arrested on DWI.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
I'm so upset.
All I gotta say is, a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm just glad we dodged that bullet. and he's Dallas's problem.
Yeah, let Dallas deal with that.
But the thing is, that people are saying, Dallas is screwed because they can't cut the guy. They got $4 million guaranteed because he just signed a 3-year, $10 million.
Screwed though. You're talking about a team with the best offensive line in football. Two of the biggest rising stars at quarterback and running back in the league.
But as we proved, defense wins championships, and that didn't help out the Cowboys against the Packers last year.
Sometimes, but there's a new NFL here where the rules benefit the offense. And
with passing game especially.
I definitely think Dallas. They've got some young stars with a strong offensive line. They're going to be at the top of the league next year again. Yeah. I'm no Dallas Cowboy fan, believe me.
Oh no, that's okay. I can't stand the Cowboys.
There's a lot of talent there.
Yes. But you were talking about offense. There's some interesting news with a certain wide receiver out of Carolina, Kelvin Benjamin, showing up to OTAs looking like a full-size lineman.
Oh man,
I tell you what.
Don't you love that? It's like, I'll work out now on company time.
Only then.
I'm good. And you got the whole Odell Beckham thing with the Giants where he's showing up and he's like,
he's with his girlfriend somewhere.
Mandatory.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out with Justin Bieber and bowling and the whole thing.
I was on Madden. What are you talking about?
So a lot of people in New York, the big story in New York is that his tweet about "I'll see you when it's mandatory" was a shot at the head coach with the Giants. Could that be problematic come the regular season?
Yeah, it could, especially when you think they're gonna have a veteran quarterback who's not gonna want to stand with that kind of crap. You want to have a team aspect. You want everybody firing on all cylinders. You got a guy over here talking crap. That becomes a distraction.
Yes,
it's gonna bring everybody off their game. So we'll see. Yeah. And you don't have a guy like Victor Cruz to bail you out anymore, who just signed a 1-year contract with the Bears.
Mm-hmm. So Victor Cruz got a lot to prove. So we'll see what he does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
But just for the rest of the NFL, one interesting tidbit. There was some news that came out suggesting that Michael Vick was going to sign a 1-day deal with the Atlanta Falcons, so he could finally. I know, right? He still exists. That he's going to sign a 1-day deal with the Atlanta Falcons.
Dogs out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Too soon.
Oops. Oh, Sorry.
But
say the wrong thing.
Sponsored by the ASPC.
But he's expected to sign a 1-day deal at any point to try and retire. Just to retire. Because no one wants him playing anymore. Especially me. Thanks, Vic.
I'm still mad at the Jets.
No, when the Jets had Michael Vick and he came in for those couple games, that was so embarrassing. He did not want to be out there. But
definitely not.
Be out there with an offensive line just letting guys get through. Go ahead, here you go. Go get him.
Ever since butt fumble, that O-line's been on the down low.
You kill dogs. You think I'm going to walk for him?
That dude's a dick. Screw that.
That guy's a dick, man.
I know.
I'm getting paid. I'm good.
Yes.
Whoops. Sack. Oh, well.
I tripped on my own feet.
Sorry, I had eaten a Butterfingers before I came out today, guys.
Spikes.
I wore my tennis shoes.
Yeah, I wore tennis shoes by accident.
Yes.
It's only NFL Sunday.
Yes.
Only. But we're getting a lot closer to that season. It's going to be good.
It's so quick, man. The months and the days, they pass so quickly. And right now, it seems like you're right at the edge of the first quarter of the baseball season.
Oh, yeah.
Where you start to look at what's going on and really take it seriously and see where your team is at and say, you know what? Maybe we have a chance, or you know what? It's time to sell, or we're done. So once you get to that point of the baseball season, which I think is at the end of Memorial Day, and you say, okay, this is time to start looking.
Start getting an idea.
Yes.
That's when you start getting, high school football or college football. You're getting those summer league games. Football is already getting in gear. It's right around the corner.
We're only like a month away from the All-Star game too.
Only a month away.
And less than 100 days from the start of college football. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's a cycle that's quick and it's right back upon you. And of course, the NBA Finals coming up in a week.
Oh yeah, June 1st.
Epic. And I'm interested because there are so many different opinions in the media as far as who the Golden State Warriors are. Are they better than they were last year? Kevin Durant on the team, obviously.
Oh yeah,
an incredible offensive squad. And the Cavaliers, basically who they were last year. The Cavaliers who were down 3-1 in an NBA.
A huge comeback.
One of the most incredible, not just basketball, but sporting events, in my opinion, that you will ever see.
Yes.
Just to see LeBron overcome and do what he did, and the roller coaster ride that was that series.
Reminds me of the 04 ALCS.
Exactly.
Yes.
With the 03.
Yes.
Even because even beyond that, because I think the Yankees were a flawed team that year.
Oh, yeah.
And the Yankees didn't have the pitching. And to me, anyway, or to a lot of experts, it wasn't a shock that the Red Sox came back in that series. It was
improbable,
Yes. It was
but not
improbable.
impossible.
but not impossible.
Yeah. Yes.
For the Cavaliers to be down 3-1 to a 70-win team in the
Unprecedented.
NBA,
Yeah.
where a 70-win team does not lose.
Yeah.
For them to come back in that series was incredible. So this year, you have the Cavs, the trilogy. What do you think? Who's going to win?
Honestly, it can go either way, but I feel like with the addition of Kevin Durant, that might just put Golden State over because Kevin Durant is an amazing player.
Yeah.
He brings a lot to any squad he played for, whether it be Oklahoma City or Golden State. And mix in with, Stephon Curry, I feel like they're honestly going to make the proper moves to be able to win this series. Mm-hmm. But you can never count out LeBron James.
Yes.
So that's what's going to make it exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But my pick's Golden State.
You
gotta
can't.
go- how many games?
I'm going Golden State in 7.
Golden State in 7.
I spent
Which
time.
would be in Golden State again.
Yes, it
I
would.
spent time in Ohio. My late teenage years. I grew up in.
We know where this is going.
I'm gonna have to go with the Cavs.
right.
I'm gonna have to go with the Cavs.
How many games?
Now, is that a heart thing, or do you just, strategically, what you see on the court, why are the Cavs going to win?
Well, I love the offense and defense that the Cavs have brought it this season, and I feel that they can take it all the way and they can win.
Well, to help your case a little bit, too, anytime they've been in the second seed, they've won it.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what I think. Listen, Cavaliers won in 7 games last year. They were down 3-1. Bottom line, the Cavaliers have LeBron James on their team. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Is there a debate? Look, listen, let me ask you guys this.
Okay.
Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, who's a better player? Who would you rather have on your squad? 2 minutes left, Game 7, championship on the line, ball in their hand. Would you rather have Steph Curry with the ball in his hands or Kyrie Irving? We all saw what happened last year.
This is true.
Hitting the shot over Steph Curry in the last.
That is true, but still, I feel like, just statistically looking at it, I still have to go Stephon Curry, just because 9 times out of 10 he is going to come up clutch. I know there's that one, but I still feel that is true though.
Look,
that is true.
That,
I'd have to go with Curry too.
Okay. I disagree. I think Kyrie Irving's a more clutch player. He has the type of game that works better in big spots. Steph Curry, to me, in big spots, is pretty sloppy with the ball, and we saw that last year with Aaron passes.
Oh yeah.
But what I'll say here too is, let me ask you guys a question. Who do you think, or maybe who is the leading shot blocker for the Golden State Warriors this year? Who's the leading shot blocker? Bogut's gone.
Yeah, Bogut's gone. He's out of the picture.
In there.
It's not Curry.
Right? Who is the leading shot blocker for the Golden State Warriors?
I don't even think it's Durant.
Yeah, I'm thinking Durant too.
If you said Durant,
yes,
who's a 6'10"
yes.
shooting guard,
yes.
basically, you would be correct.
Yes.
Kevin Durant is the leading shot blocker for the Golden State Warriors.
He is.
So if you think Kevin Durant is going to stop LeBron James from getting to the rim, did you see that Boston Celtics series? When those games were on the line, LeBron was right to the basket, in the basket. The Golden State Warriors cannot defend the rim. They cannot defend the rim. Kevin Durant is their leading shot blocker. When the game is on the line, you're talking about fourth quarter, 5 minutes left in these games. Who is stopping LeBron from getting to the rim in these games? Nobody.
That is true.
And to me, you saw what happened last year. And Kevin Love is playing better basketball than he's played in the last 4 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Kyrie Irving is incredibly clutch. And you see a guy like Kevin Durant, who's a guy we've seen come up small many times in big playoff games, including last year when OKC was down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors, and they lost repeatedly over and over again to go 3-1. OKC was out, which is why he bitched out and went to
try to do the whole big team type approach.
3-1. They were up with Durant against Golden State, came up small, 3 games in a row. Okay, if you're going to tell me that Kevin Durant is going to stop LeBron James from winning this series, you're out of your mind. Cavaliers in 7.
7.
That's the story.
Cavaliers.
And we'll find out starting June 1st.
Yes, we'll find out.
8 p.m.
I have strong opinions.
Yes. And We envy and we appreciate your opinion.
Thank you
And
so much
We're
for
not
having
going
us here.
We covered it.
Yes. No problem. I'm so glad you're here, Chris. This is a hell of a time, man.
It was all the time. You know, we got pissed on by Mother Nature and all. I tell you what, we got the whole shebang bang.
Difficulties with the audio cutting in and out, restarting and everything and stuff.
But we still make it happen.
Yes,
Of
we
course.
still made it happen. We still did.
Look at those good-looking guys. I didn't even know.
I know, that's like it's like a painting of awesome. You're like, throw it out there.
We want to mention that tomorrow, on tomorrow's podcast,
Very special guest.
yes, we have a really special guest.
Two actually very special guests.
I'm sorry.
Damn, why are you letting the cat out of the bag?
Damn it.
No, tomorrow though, we will have two player owners of the Central Florida Warriors, a local rugby team that will be coming on the show tomorrow.
Yes.
So make sure you tune in tomorrow on the Facebook page of the Everett Lee Show at facebook.com/the Everett Lee at 8 p.m.
Yes, we definitely will have the Central Florida Warriors. We will have two. Not one, two.
Deuce, and any other kind of way you want to say
And
too.
Shaft won't get rained on operating the computer this time.
Let me just say one more time. What's today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Thursday, live at 7 o'clock. The Super Radio Brothers, SuperRadioBrothers.com. Anywhere else they can hear us.
Twitch.tv/Super Radio Brothers. You can follow us on Facebook or on Twitter at SRB Podcast. The website is
The
superradiobrothers.com.
conversation is going to get a lot more nerdy. Not much about LeBron James and everything, but more about Superman and Batman.
If you want to promote, he does have a sports show.
Yes, go ahead.
A sports show.
Oh, that's
I do a
nice.
sports show, by the
Go
way,
ahead.
with a fantastic kid, Trent Ferguson, senior at the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, actually graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. He's blind, but let me tell you, the kid knows sports better than anybody you know. And we have a podcast called Out of Sight Sports that you can access on the Flagler Radio app or SoundCloud, Out of Sight Sports.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome. Rich, Mark, thank you so much,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful to have you.
We had a
Wonderful
hell
to
of a
have you.
time. We talked about Star Wars. We talked about who the Super Radio Brothers
Star
are.
Wars
You should know who these guys are at the end of this.
So check them out.
Draft Tuesday was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Even with the weather.
Even
and
with being
Sports
pissed off.
Talk was awesome. So thank you for
I
everyone.
gotta pee.
They're talking about pissing.
Oh.
Thank you for everyone for tuning in on the Everett Lee Show. Be sure to check out Everett Lee at the new website,
The new.
everettshow.weebly.com. You can check me out on facebook.com/Everett Lee. Stop by there, click that like button.
Do it.
Also, Twitter, you can follow me at the Everett Lore Score Lee.
Do it.
Find more out about Chris Carnage.
More about Chris Carnage. You want more about Chris Carnage?
That dude is
Go to
cool.
facebook.com/Chris Carnage Official to keep up with all the latest happenings and news with Chris Carnage and anything with CCE Presents, The Everett Lee Show, or Draft Tuesday. You can also go ahead and go over to Twitter at Planet Carnage to get all the same kind of stuff. But hey, you want some of this cool swag? Go to CCEpresents.bigcartel.com and grab yourself a Chris Carnage Hey Fan shirt or even the poster. Hey, we even got stickers. We got stuff all over the place. So make sure you check it out. But hey, you want to catch me playing some video games? Go to twitch.tv/Chris Carnage Official. Don't worry, I've been drinking. And catch me playing all kinds of games like Madden, Call of Duty, Battlefront, Battlefield, whatever the hell I feel like playing. Check it out.
Damn, Mark, you're tall.
I'm very tall. Yeah. You're a tiny dude.
I'm so small.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you have it. The uncut version of Draft Tuesday with the Super Radio Brothers. I want to thank Mark and Rich for coming out for Draft Tuesday during that time with the bad weather and all the technicality that was going on. I want to thank them for coming out there, hanging out with me, Chris, and McShaft, having a good time, talking about everything from video games, as you heard, to movies, to sports, and everything. So, guys, thanks again. Anna, I want to thank again everyone for downloading and listening to this episode of ELS Uncut. You can check out more ELS Uncut and other shows on the Podcast City Network. Head over to podcastcity.net and check out the wide variety of selections of podcasts. You may find something in there that you might like. So go over there and check that out, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Thank you once again from ELS Uncut. We'll see you again next time for another episode. Peace.